Hello everyone. Well, it's most certainly been a while since I last made a video, hasn't it? Well, I basically had renovations being done on my room, and I also decided to make my stay on ship 1 temporary instead of permanent, so I am back on ship 3. That is not a mistake that you see in the overlay. Anyways, with that being said, I decided that since there's basically nothing coming to NGS this week aside from a rare drop rate and preset boost campaign for Altered Realm, that I would make a video talking about Altered Realm since it is new content and it just came out, even if I am a week late. Anyways, if you hear any additional noise in this video, it is because there is renovations being done on my house, and while I do have a room to record again, I do not have absolute peace and quiet. So, that being said, let's talk about Altered Realm the Western battle line. Oh my god. Altered Realm West line. I'm not redoing another take of this. That's ridiculous. Why is it so hard to say? Anyways, this is a combat zone. However, unlike the previous combat zones we've gotten used to, Altered Realm West line has different mechanics. For example, upon clearing a trial, you will gain a buff provided you meet the conditions that were given to you by the trial. These buffs range from Photon Blast coming off cooldown extremely fast, increased potency from dive attacks, additional attacks on critical hits, increased PA and technique damage, and basically stuff like that. So basically think Lucille buffs, but it's in a combat zone now. Anyways, unlike past combat zones, the PSE meter does not decrease. Instead, you will increase the PSE meter by clearing trials. This means that the usual method that people would, for whatever reason, enforce by defeating random enemies on the map doesn't work anymore because you can only raise the PSE meter by clearing trials. Yellows do not raise PSE, and enemies outside of the trials also do not raise PSE. So it's actually pretty good now because it's easier to raise PSE and PSE cannot drop. So you're probably wondering, what do you farm here? Well, basically you farm for Juvolg Volt 1s and Juvolg Volt 2s, land weapons, Legendios weapons, Juvolg weapons, as well as Crest weapons and Crest cubes. Yeah, so there is a lot to farm here, and of course, similarly to the previous Alter Realm, it dropped all the best in slot capsules. Now, there is something here that does drop from Alter Realm West line that doesn't drop from the previous Alter Realm, and that is that it drops every single combat zone note, from Magnus note to Noisel note. Yes, it also, of course, also drops whatever VFX is, oh no, Joindia. Yes, that is the name of it. I don't know why I confuse it for Foundia, but yes, Joindia also drops here, meaning you don't need to farm Darkfall's Vial anymore for Joindia. So this means that getting the Ultima Domina affix capsule is extremely easy now, which is great. So with that being said, what do all these new materials do and what are they for? Well, first off, the Juvolg Volt is needed to upgrade to the Vol'jin weapon series to the Einden weapon series, which is basically the final version of the whole upgrade chain from Juvolg. On top of this, the Crest Cubes are extremely rare drops that for whatever reason seem to be almost on par with Legendios weapons for drop rates, that you can use to upgrade your Quest weapon to a Zenith weapon, which is a upgrade for the Crest weapon series. So for the first time in forever, a Chase weapon now has an upgrade. Anyways, there is a bit of a catch with the Crest Cubes, or well, not catch, and more so a bonus, and since that you can now craft Crest weapons, specifically the Crest AT weapon series. Crest AT shares the exact same stats as the Crest weapon series, which drops. However, you cannot sell the Crest AT weapon series. It is untradeable. However, it can upgrade into a normal Zenith weapon, provided you have 5 Crest Cubes. Now, there is a catch, because if you want to craft a Crest AT, you need 10 Crest Cubes. So that means you need a total of 15 Crest Cubes if you want a Zenith weapon from a Crest and a Crest AT. However, if you have a Crest weapon already, you only need 5 Crest Cubes. So, Basically, this is still a good weapon series to use a multi-weapon substitute on because, you know, if you affix a Crest AT to a Crest AT, you are literally going to need like 45 Crest cubes. No, not 45 Crest cubes. 25 Crest cubes, which is way too much just for a freaking Zenith weapon. So basically, if you do not want to farm for a Crest AT, the Eindid weapon series is your best bet. Of course, Legendios weapons also drop, and they seem slightly more common than they were in the past. And as many of you might remember, the Legendios weapon series is getting an upgrade path later down the line, or well, just an upgrade. So it might be wise to pick up a Legendios weapon if you get one for your weapon type that drops here, if you are interested in making sub-weapons. Now, the same can also be said about the Land weapon series, which before this, it could only really drop from the Brune D Hunar Unlimited quest. So now you can farm it in Alter Realm West Line. Besides that, that is basically all that drops from this combat zone. It's a extremely good combat zone if you want to gear up, because it also drops Progress armor and Progress Vance, and you will probably have way too much Progress Vance by the time you're done farming for your Eindin weapon. Which, by the way, if you want an Eindin weapon, because I never specified how many materials you need around, I want to say, 400 Progress Grinders, 150 Juvolg Volt 2s, and 300 Juvolg Volt 1s. So it is very likely that you will have 150 Juvolg Volt 2s, however you will still need to farm it for Juvolg Volt 1 because you need 300 of those. So yeah, that's basically all you really need to know about Alter Realm Westline. As a reminder, this does have an upgrade, or that this does have a rare drop rate and preset boost coming this week, so I'm not making a coming and leaving. Keep that in mind that it will be worth farming this quest all week. So yeah, thank you for watching. I apologize if this video is a bit awkward because I haven't done a video in a long time, so I really need to get back into the swing of things. Anyways, that being said, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video, which hopefully won't be a month later. Bye!